Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my first ever rendered animation, and this animation took maybe an hour to make and 6 minutes to render. And I know it's short, but consider the fact that I have a GeForce 720M. Alright, this is my layout. I have my camera over here. It's slightly tilted to give a nice effect, and then as we go through the animation, the camera moves slightly. It just swivels from one side of the laser to the other. All the while, the laser is pulsating, and these particles are just flowing upwards. And the way I made this was, I went into the shading menu, selected the one I wanted to use first, and using this set of nodes, I made it do that glow effect. And then I just copy pasted it and made it larger or smaller, and eventually I made it into these three separate waves. And how you make this is, you do Shift A, mesh, circle. You do Shift A, mesh, circle. Now I'm going to turn off rendered view because it's lagging my computer a lot, and then I'll move that circle off to the side a bit and go into edit mode by pressing tab, scooch over to it, and press E, Z, and then move that. And just do that a few times, EZ, or you can just do E, Z, and make it really long. And obviously I made it a lot bigger, but this is a small version. And then after that, you can use the Control R shortcut, scroll until you've got the desired amount of cuts, and then press escape so it just stays there. Now you hit options and you hit you tab out of edit mode, click options and turn on origins. Tab back into edit mode, select just these bottom vertices, and to make it easier, go into wireframe mode by hitting Z, wireframe, select those and click R and rotate them, and now tab back out. You rotate this on its side, about 90 degrees. And then you add modifier, wave. And right now it's a bit shaky, so I'm just gonna turn that a bit more and find where it's stable. And before that, let's add subdivision surface modifier, and let's close this out. And on Catmull Clark, set this to 4, and I'm just going to set this to 5 because it's much easier. And then eventually, once you get your settings right, you'll end up with this. Now I'm just going to turn off origins so I can actually move this. And then I'm going to scale it down. So eventually you'll end up with something like this. And then after that, keep origins off. And in Wave, make sure you have both X and Y motion, cyclic, keep all these on. And honestly, these are my own preferences. You can change them if you want. And then these, same with these, but I didn't really mess with these. Now, the offset you will need later. And the offset is basically how it starts. So you see how it's just warping? If you want all of them to be different and like out of sync, then you need to change the offset of all of them. And don't really mess with these two. Just you might want to turn damping up if it's not already, but keep the speed at something like 0.25, or maybe at most maybe 0.5. But yeah, because then, and don't keep it too low because then this will happen. So I'm just gonna put that back to 0.25. And don't mess with texture. I don't even know what that does. Now let's go to subdivision surface. You can turn on optimal display. When you turn it off, it just changes the edit mode, but this doesn't really make a difference in this animation. And now, after that, you go into the shading menu, and that's what creates this little thing over here. And in this, all I did was I took texture coordinate and mapping. You just do Shift A and search it. And this is the reason this is yellow is because I put some keyframes using I. You can just put keying, and make sure this is on dope sheet, and that'll give you this. And you need to pull out another menu, and that'll bring out like this. Pull out another menu and set that to dope sheet, and that'll bring this up. And that's all my keyframes. And basically this Y should start out as 0, or maybe something else if you like it, and then it should just move so the little particles over here, they also move along with the wave. They don't have to be in sync or anything, they just move to make it look more realistic. And keep distortion on 2, otherwise it just looks not satisfying. And you can mess with that if you want, it's all personal preference. And roughness, same with that. I mean, you could change it to make it brighter or darker, but I'm just gonna leave that alone. I like it like that. And after you put a color amp, you might want to move the black slider to the middle, maybe a little bit more to the white side, so that it balances out between non-black and just, yeah, so it doesn't do that or it doesn't do that. So just keep it balanced in here. And this is just making it transparent, and this is setting the color, and you can change the strength. Apparently the strength feature is a bit weird, so I just say keep it at 100 or something. And this mix will just combine everything in and put it into the output. And yeah, that's about it. And you just copy and paste this thing, just a bit smaller and smaller. Like hit S, scale it down, maybe change this to blue. Oh, wrong one, sorry. Change this inner one to blue by setting another material. So just copy all this if you like, and create another material. And after you do all that, you can just fiddle with the color if you want. And what I do is I just I made the second one blue, and the inner one is more of a light cyanish color. So if you want it to be simple, if you want to do something simple, then just hit this, set it to a cyan color, and then go into RGB, and the A, you can bring that down, or you could bring this and HSV, and yeah, you can just drag it down near the white side, so it gives that little effect of a few particle beams just pulsing. And yeah, that's about it. This is my laser animation, and I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the like button, and I'll see you next time. And if you want this glow effect, then you go into this camera button, and I've got the render engine set to eevee. You can also set it to cycles, but for that you need a beefy computer. And turn both of these up to 64, unless you just want to use less resources in the viewport, which is this. And you can set this to default. And turn on denoising, ambient occlusion, and bloom. Bloom is what gives it this glow. Without it, it just looks like this. And ambient occlusion just makes it, the light reflect a bit better. I mean, you don't exactly need it, but it makes it look good. And I made this since it was such a short animation. I turned this into a GIF by going to a website called easygif.com, link in the description, and I uploaded my rendered animation and put it into the GIF maker, and yeah, I turned it into a GIF, and that's it.